Another empty box, huh? Yeah, you guessed it. Today on Toy Spot, or today's Toy Spot, we're going to be having a look at the Marvel Legends Spider-Man Fearsome Foes box set. This particular spot, we're going to be looking at Vulture. Vulture, this is the only Vulture figure that you can get from the Marvel Legends line. There was it 1992, might have been 94 Vulture as well, but much smaller obviously, and definitely scale-wise. I mean, proportions and detail, it certainly wasn't anything like the Marvel Legends figures. I think I'm not a big fan of the Vulture character. I always thought he was silly. I know a lot of people don't like the Electro. I liked Electro. I kind of thought Vulture was a little silly. He was just an old man with wings flying around in the air. But I gotta say though, I mean, this is a really nice figure. There are things I don't like about this figure, but I think overall I do like the figure though. Now, I've got this figure already on its base. I'll take the base off, or take the figure off the base just so you guys can get an idea. It's not too bad. I mean, the only problem is, like I had already said, I really don't like the fact that there's faces on these stands. Probably would have been nice, at least in Vulture's case, that maybe it was, I don't know, feathers or something other than just a face. The reason why I actually have to put my Vulture on the base is it might just be the way my figure came out of the package, but his leg is warped, especially his toe. I think you guys can see his foot leans to the one side, and I don't think because of that reason. I tried to kind of move it, tried to adjust it a bit, but I'm sure many collectors out there can attest when something gets a little difficult with the joint on a Marvel Legends, you really don't want to play too much with it, because no doubt I would move this the wrong way and it would be broken off, and then I'd have a legless Vulture. But detailing wise, really nice looking figure. He's got a really long nose, as you guys can see. Kind of looks like Scrooge from Christmas Story. Not Christmas Story, Scrooge, the Ebenezer Scrooge character. Mine seems to be drawing a blank right now, but nice looking face. I mean, it's not too bad. The one thing I have problems with my figure is I think the camera's going to get that. There's a little bit of discoloration on the actual head. Up here, I think you guys can see it. First of all, there's a little mark at the top, which might have been because he was packaged and he was rubbing up against something. But there is just a slight bit of change in flesh color that they put at the top of his head. There's also a little bit on the side of his head too. Like there's one big patch of darkness that kind of carries over to the rest of his head. It just, I don't know why I don't know why it's not all one color, but I like the wings. I mean, the wings really aren't super detailed, but granted, it's an older set, so you can kind of overlook that. There's not really much to say about his costume. It's just a basic green, and then he's got the light green wings as well, and then he's got this feather collar as well. I mean, the collar's nice. There's a lot of nice little individual feathers you can make out there, nicely detailed. Now, in the way of his articulation, he has articulation in the head. He has, now, despite the fact that he's got feathers attached to his arms, you still get lots of articulation in the arms. Articulation in the bicep, in the elbow. You can still, I think, get an elbow articulation. You can get a mid forearm, a forearm articulated point, but it'll only get to that point, and then it'll butt up against this back part, and you won't be able to turn it. But he has articulated a hand, as well as also in the fingers, which I think I can. There you go, a little bit of articulation in the fingers as well. He has articulation in his mid-torso stomach area, also in his waist. He has it in his leg, the thigh, 2 points in the knee, in the calf area. Now all this is really stiff on this figure, which is actually a pretty good thing. I prefer to take a figure out and have it more stiff than loose, because at least when it's stiff, that means you're not going to have a floppy character or floppy figure after a while. But he also has articulation in the foot and also in the toe. He's got these really nice pointed feet, which I think kind of looks cool. Now, how you can pose him, I mean, you can certainly pose him with his wings extended if you want. I probably will have him posed such as that. Just kind of looking like really sinister, looking like he's about to take off. But I like the figure. I mean, the figure has a nice charm to it. As I had already mentioned, I'm going to put my figure on display stand just because of the way his foot is. But I mean, you know, it's a decent looking figure to have on display. And if you've got the other Spider-Man rogues, you definitely want to get this guy. And if you ask me, any more reason to want to pick up this set. But there you have a toy spot. I'll just do a quick rotation here. But there you have a toy spot on not one of my favorite characters, but definitely a nice looking figure. There we had a toy spot on the Marvel Legends Fearsome Foes Vulture. And with that, I'll see you guys next time. Later.